Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Lance Crone here, and bringing you guys a video today on the 7 things that I wish I had known sooner about losing body fat so that it never came back. The fact is that I have been in the fitness industry for, a little bit more than 15 years now. And while I learned some really good things early on, there were a lot of things that were being peddled and pushed and touted as truth that simply are not. So, what I want to do today is kind of go through these 7 things that I would say would be the most, notorious, or at least the ones that are the most prevalent. So, let me know which one of these resonates with you. If you're watching live or replay, be sure to comment hashtag live or hashtag replay. Let me know where you're watching from, and be sure to say hello too. It's always nice to hear from you guys. So, without further ado, the very first one is and again, these are going to offend somebody, but the fact is that science can be offensive, especially in 2020 and 2021. Anyway, with that being said, there are no superfoods or foods that if you eat them, they will cause you fat loss or eliminate the need for energy balance. Okay, so what that means is that there are no superfoods like avocado or all these like organic sort of foods that are specifically known to put you in this fat burn mode that causes you to have all these weird mystical things happening. It doesn't exist. There are no foods that do that. The only thing that I will say is the fact that protein and fiber are higher in thermogenesis, meaning that they are going to be, they're going to cause you to expend more calories to extract the nutrients from them. That can cause you to burn more calories, but there are no superfoods. There are no foods that if you eat clean enough foods that are going to cause you to lose fat. It's just that simple. The only way you're going to lose body fat is if you have completed a deficit of calories, what we call an energy balance. Okay, number 2, calories matter most, then protein, and then fiber, and then carbs and fat. So what I was just talking about just a moment ago. So what you want to do is focus on macros, okay, focus on macros before understanding your total energy expenditure, okay? This is what most people do. They focus on the micronutrients, the macronutrients, all these things without understanding why. And the why is your calories. So if you focus on macros before understanding your total energy expenditure, which is how many calories you need and how many calories you're burning, what's going to happen is you're either going to get no results or you're going to get results that are super unpredictable and unrepeatable. This is where people go, I went on keto and I dropped all this weight. Cool. How many calories did you cut? No clue. What happens whenever you stop losing weight? How many do you cut then? No clue. I think that I'm only losing because I cut out all of my carbs. No, you're losing because you removed carbs, which are calories, 4 calories per carb. If you dropped out 100 carbs, you just effectively cut yourself 400 calories. So that's the real reason that you're losing body fat. So if you're putting your emphasis learning all of the vitamins and minerals and nutrients and all this stuff, but you don't quite get that you need to be in a caloric deficit, you're putting the cart before the horse. It's not going to work. Believe me, I did this, okay? All right, number 3, there are no exercises that will target fat loss in specific areas. We burn fat collectively, okay? So when people are asking me, Lance, how do I burn this specific thing? You don't. How do I burn this down here? You don't. What exercise do I do to burn this? 0. There are no exercises that will burn that specific part. That's called spot reduction, and it doesn't happen. It doesn't work. What does happen is when we reduce your calories or we burn more calories, that puts you in what we call an energy balance or a negative energy balance, meaning that you have a calorie deficit. When that happens, that is going to cause you to lose body fat. When you're losing body fat, you're going to lose from here, you're going to lose from here, you're going to lose from here. Where you usually put on first is the place that comes off last. That's just the way that the body works. There are no amount of abdominal workouts, push-ups, or tricep exercises that are going to take away from those specific areas. Now, it doesn't mean that we don't exercise those to make them firmer, tighter, etc. But when you're looking for body fat to be reduced in one specific area, you are chasing a goose that is not going to be caught, okay? It's not going to happen. All right, number 4, tracking your food is essential for anyone who wants to learn how to lose fat and keep it off for good, guys. Otherwise, again, you cannot repeat what you didn't even understand what worked to begin with. How do you repeat something that was an accident? You can't. So what we do here is, again, what we always tell people is skip this part, and you're going to continue to think that there was something magical about the plan you were on when it really had to do with energy balance, what we talked about. Having a deficit of calories, okay? So it's not because I got rid of this and my insulin and I did this and it was my meal timing and intermittent fasting. Guys, let me just give you a news flash. Intermittent fasting, keto, paleo, all of these work to lose body fat based on one principle. By removing unhealthy, or what we're going to call calorie-dense foods, from paleo, you're getting rid of starches, etc. You're getting rid of foods that are more calorie dense. You're getting rid of calories. By cutting out carbs, you're getting rid of calories. By reducing your window of eating, which is intermittent fasting, what are you doing? Putting your amount of foods in a smaller window, thus making it easier to eat less. What does that mean? Less calories. Calories, calories, calories. It doesn't mean that that's what we count, because that's tedious and monotonous, but you need to understand you will not lose body fat if you don't create an energy balance that is in the negative, meaning that if you are consuming too much food, I don't care that you're eating avocados and egg whites and organic nut butter from the Indies or whatever is happening. The fact is that if you are eating those foods and you're going over in your calories, you're gaining body fat, plain and simple. This is not something that's my opinion. This is something that is provable with mathematics and science, but I'll digress. Okay, number 5. Workouts don't have to be any longer than 30 minutes, okay? The fact is that now, again, if you're wanting to build some crazy muscle and do some crazy things like that, not, I say crazy, but I'm saying like, something that's a little bit more extreme, something that's not necessarily the regular general fitness practices of just losing body fat and feeling a little bit leaner. The fact is that it really only takes 30 minutes a day. That's it. Bottom line. My clients, some of my fittest clients work out 3 or 4 times a week for 25 to 30 minutes a day. That's it. So the fact is that that's less than 2% of your entire day. And the reality is that if that's one reason that you're skipping workouts is because you think that they need to be longer than 30 minutes, doesn't have to at all. You just got to make sure that you're doing the right things. Now, if you need help with that, you can comment below, put hashtag workout plan, and I will send you my 7-day muffin top melter workout that you can do at home with body weight only. It will be amazing. You'll want that. Trust me. This is all 25-minute workouts too. So muffin top melter, you can put that in the comments below, put hashtag workout plan, whatever, and I'll send that to you. You're going to want that. All right. Final 2. Number 6 is the 80-20 rule is a must to help you stay satiated while losing body fat so that you don't feel deprived, okay? Because that happens, and it's going to help you to stay the course. So what is the 80-20 rule? Simply put, the 80-20 rule in our language of what we do for fitness and nutrition is 80% of your calories. If I help you to determine how many calories you should be able to consume to lose body fat, you can do what most trainers and coaches tell you to do, which is try and make sure that 100% of your foods are clean, meaning that you're not doing any fun foods, you're doing nutrient-dense foods only. Now, everybody has a different definition of that, but what we recommend is doing 80% of your calories. If I write you up 3,000 calorie macro plan, 80% of your calories, your macros, can come from what we call nutrient-dense foods. Those are the foods that are going to provide nutrients for you. They're going to be typically a little bit cleaner, less processed, the whole 9 yards. Now, the 80-20 part of this, the 20% part is 20% of your calories can come from fun foods, what we call calorie-dense foods. Foods that are not necessarily as nutritional, if any nutrition. Reese's, candy bars, ice cream, cereals, processed foods, those are all what we would call fun foods, or calorie dense foods. We want to minimize those, but we don't need to remove them. It doesn't make sense to remove those entirely unless you're eating them all day long, which you shouldn't be doing anyway. It doesn't make any sense. So the fact is that by eating the 80-20 rule, it's going to, instead of causing you all week to be thinking about sugar plums and what I was just thinking of the nutcracker, so that's why I said that nobody eats sugar plums. But the fact is that rather than daydreaming, where I was going with that about sugar plums and the sugar plum fairies and all this stuff and candy and gumdrops and ice cream and Kit Kats, instead of daydreaming about that all week because you're not allowed to have those things and that's all you can do is think about it, instead you're going to allow yourself 20% of your calories to come from those fun foods. Number one, it's going to help you to feel a little bit more satiety. Number two, it's going to take your mind off of thinking about things that you can't have, and it's going to help you to start focusing on what your true journey is in your path without feeling deprived or like you're missing out, because those are the things that start telling you, I'm comparing that lifestyle versus this one, and that one looks way more fun. And if you're not getting the results that reinforce this unfun behavior, the next thing you can guarantee is that you're going to stop producing so much of that unfun behavior. So this is why we need to, number one, make it appealing, make it attractive to stick with your goals and to stick with your habits, and we need to make sure it actually is getting you results too. So that's the key. The final one, guys, number 7, set your workouts based on your lifestyle and goals, and then create your calorie needs based around that activity, not the other way around. And what that means is a lot of times people will start essentially doing some diet that's very low calorie, and then they try and work out with it. They try and do all these extra things, and they wonder why they burn out. The fact is that what we do is we build a workout plan based on somebody's life, and then what I do is, as long as it fits in their lifestyle and doesn't feel like it's causing them to feel deprived or feel like they're sacrificing time away from their family and friends constantly to do this. Basically, we just want to make sure it fits their lifestyle. Once we know that, then what we do is we begin to build a calorie and macro plan around that activity that fits the lifestyle. Do you see how this makes more sense than rather than me giving you some like 1,200 calorie diet and then telling you to burn 600 calories in a workout? It's one of those things that all of a sudden you start feeling moody, you start feeling like, crap, man, I barely even have the energy to hold my head up, and this guy's asking me to do a workout when he's giving me so few calories. It doesn't make any sense. And that way also, just so you know, it does also lead to what we call a metabolic crash. Means that your metabolism will literally start slowing itself down because it perceives, not literally, but it basically is getting the hint, the signal that you are not eating enough. And so it fears starvation. So it starts slowing down your metabolism and storing body fat. These are all the things that happen when you get yourself in alignment with a temporary makeover instead of a permanent transformation. So that's why I wanted to do these 7 different, the 7 things that I wish that I had known, because had I been putting all 7 of these, 15 years ago in the right order, the right syntax, I would have absolutely had so many less headaches from not reaching goals. And I would have also been able to enjoy my quality of life so much more without beating myself up every time I wasn't able to stick with something that was crazy rigid, or because I was buying into something I thought would work and there wasn't science to back it up. So I hope these have helped you. My question is for you is, which of the 7 did you know? Which of the 7 was a little bit of a shock for you that you're going, oh, I didn't know that that was accurate? Was it the 80-20 rule for you? Was it more the fact that you didn't know that you can't spot reduce fat? Or was it simply the fact that you want to actually design your workouts and then build your calories around that rather than the other way around? Let me know in the comments below if you feel like this was something that was valuable or something that kind of resonated with you. Be sure to put #value in the comments below, and be sure to say hello, guys. It's been awesome doing videos and kind of chatting with you guys. I love hearing the questions some of you guys have sent me in Messenger asking me about different diet questions or mindset things as well. So feel free to send those, and be sure to leave a comment if you have any questions about this.